Good evening. This is Jack Charting the Markets, and this is the Bigger Picture webinar for the evening of Sunday, the 26th of January. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. We actually had a red day on Friday, a bit of retracement here, not a lot of weakness so far, but we had a 60-minute sell signal fix, which is the first one we've seen in a while since this one ticked along and failed. This one could fail too, but we are really overdue a retracement, and sooner or later we're going to see a retracement, and that will allow me to start building trend lines and patterns for the move up. And I was mentioning in my last post that we've not really done enough work to do that, and that is suggesting that we have significantly higher to go. All right, so yes, the weakness here. Broke rising support on NQ. Again, we had a weak 60-minute sell signal fixed, although it was a weak one here rather than a full-size one. That's reached the possible near-miss target on Friday. On RTY, we're again seeing some weakness here, possible little double top here. No current negative divergence, though. On YM, broke rising support at the close. Weak 60-minute sell signal is fixed, and this one hasn't made target yet. Same as the ES. ES hasn't made target either. DAX and STX got 60-minute sell signals fixed, and that DAX hasn't reached the possible near-miss target, and neither has ESTX. So that is 4 open sell signals, although one of those has reached the possible near-miss target already, but 3 of them have not, which is auguring likely more downside soon. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Right, SPX. This is how I was looking at the weekend. I would say we've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on the 15-minute. That's only a very, very small signal, but that might be looking at a bit of a rally on Monday morning. We will see. On the hourly chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and this does tend to be a very good signal. And it's nicely formed, but I would say I don't have similar signals on NDX, sort of stroke the Qs and Dia and IWM. So I'm taking it seriously, but actually the thing I'm taking most seriously is this. Now, this is something I show every so often, but I only show it obviously when we're reaching either the top black line or the bottom black line. And this is a stay out of trouble chart. And really, when it reaches the top black line, then you have to start getting pretty wary on the upside, on the long side, because we're overcooked. And we're likely to see a retracement soon. And you can see quite over the last couple of years, just about hit there, 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 all of which triggered significant retracements. So really, I'm looking for some here. I am expecting to see more upside afterwards, though. Looking at the weekly chart, we've seen a retest of the high here. This is a possible double top. It's way too early to be thinking in terms of, and I think we're likely to go higher first. So I don't think this double top is not something I'm taking particularly seriously at the moment. On the, we're not that far away from the 45 DMA because, of course, we'd gone significantly below it. So I haven't even bothered registering how far above it we are here because it's not a significant number. Looking at the daily chart, we've got no current negative divergence, but if we see a retracement here and we go higher, as I expect, we could well set up a decent RSI 5 daily sell signal, but we do not have that here at the moment. On ES, the same. ES hasn't quite made a retest of the high, but we got to remember here that SPX is the dog and ES is the tail. So it doesn't necessarily have to reach it, but I think after a retracement here, it likely will. So we will see how it goes. Let's have a look at the Qs. Qs haven't made the retest of the high yet, and I'm expecting it to. After a retracement, I will be expecting it to make that. Very nice flag, broke up. I mean, there is a possibility we could form a larger flag here and, you know, have a lower low. But at the moment, I'm not seeing any obvious signs to think that we are going to see that. So I'm thinking we just basically retrace some of the move that we've just done and then likely go higher. Because the second high was lower, we don't have a sell signal there, even though it kind of looks like one. On the 15-minute chart, nothing really. Nice looking potential little level top here, although this could be a bull flag. But if we do see it break down from the double top, then the target here would be in about the 523 area. Looking at Dia, Very overbought on the RSI 5. This is really reaching nosebleed levels. And on the buy signals, we had on Dire and IWM, the only one on Dire was the week daily RSI 14 buy signal, and that has now made target. Now here again, we got a flag, and here again it broke up, and actually we've got a double bottom which has broken up too, so I am expecting to see a retest of the high here as well, but there's no reason to think that we can't retrace before we do it. I'm actually staggered that it's gone this long without a significant retracement. It is overdue. And if it's starting now, that's great, because it's about time. On the 15-minute chart, we had a 15-minute RSI 14 sell signal. That's made target, and we've got another little 15-minute RSI 5 buy signal. That is basically like a 5-minute RSI 14 buy signal. It's a small one and can be overridden by larger events. Okay, let's have a look at IWM. Looking at the daily chart, weak RSI 14 buy signal is fixed here because this has been much slower off the ground. Even though we've made the RSI 5 buy signal here, the RSI 14 one needs more than that. But what I would say is that this is the read of the flag that I like most, and we've actually broken above it now, which is great. I'm very encouraged to see that. So I'm looking for a retracement here in all probability. We've got a nice little level top here, sustained breakdown below 226.5 is looking for about the 222.5 area, so down here. So that would be about a 50% retrace. That's really kind of what I'm looking for here. So I would like to see that. We do have a possible weak RSI 14 sell signal brewing. It is very weak. I don't like to see the second high so far away from the 70, but nonetheless, it could deliver. And nothing on the 15-minute really, but as you can see, nice wedge breakdown. This is a nice setup to see a retracement. All right, looking at DAX. DAX has been powering higher. This could use a retracement too, but it's really not showing much sign of it. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, because obviously by the time we were having at least some selling on Friday, although the selling was not huge. By the time we were seeing that, obviously the German markets had closed. Nikkei coming back up into a retest of 40.4. I'm modest about unless this really starts taking off, I'm modest about the chances about getting a retest of 42.4 unless the US indices go a lot higher. All right, great. Let's have a look at CL. Okay, CL. I drew in this head and shoulders, and I noted that we had a daily RSI 5 sell signal, and at the moment we are trickling down. We are failing at the 200 DMA on the index, and that's a good place to fail. We've got a decently formed head and shoulders here, which has got a target down in the 72.5 area. We do have a couple of levels above that, which could hold, and I have to say this is still a move down that looks like this could be a bull flag, so I'm a little wary about that too. On NG, we had a very nice looking head and shoulders here, and it hasn't broken down yet, so it can't fail because it hasn't broken down yet. So, but I'm still thinking this might have a decent shot, and if it does break down, this would have a target down to about the 2.9 to 2.95 area. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture. And on CL, weak on the CL chart, I've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and I've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. Neither of them has made target yet, and there's a reasonable expectation of more downside. We are testing the daily middle band. All right. On the continuous chart, we have no RSI 14 sell signal, but nice RSI 5 sell signal. Not quite reached the possible near miss target yet, but it's pretty close. It is testing the daily middle band of support, and that's an obvious level where it might find support. I've got the 200 DMA here in the 74.96 area. Oh yeah, okay. So we are seeing a move back to the 200 DMA. So it's not failing at the 200 DMA. It's coming back to retest it, and it is below it at the moment. But it could rally from here. I'm just not seeing much sign of that happening. Looking at natural gas, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the daily. We've broken through the rising support, and we've got a nice looking head and shoulders. I've drawn that on the hourly chart, so I haven't drawn it on the daily. But I'm liking the downside here, and as I've been mentioning every week, twice a week really. It's we have got a seasonal period of weakness on natural gas, which usually delivers a decent low sometime between February and April. And next month, of course, is February. So if we see that break down and head towards the target here, that would be a match with the seasonal weakness that I would be expecting to see here. All right, let's have a look at gold. Now, gold is getting pretty close to the retest of the all-time high, actually. So we will see how that goes. We're above the weekly pivot here. This has been a nice move up. Silver has been weaker, and we've got what looks like a bull flag here, which is trying to break up. We will see. I'm still leaning towards seeing more upside on both. Here, we could be forming an alternate right shoulder here, but actually I don't think so. This was actually a very nice, very level head and shoulders here, and it broke down and it failed. What the two main options here are either we form a larger flag, i.e. we see a move up, and then we see a lower low, and then we go back up and retest the high, or we go back up and retest the high directly. And those are the two main options. I was saying this was a very nice looking head and shoulders, but under the circumstances I thought it was more likely than usual to fail up, and that's what we've seen. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts on those. On GC, we've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing on GC. Looking at the index, got the same signal. But here you can see the triangle which has broken up, and that's got a target at a retest of the high here at all-time high here at 280180, and it hasn't reached that yet. I'm expecting it to reach it, and probably sooner rather than later. Looking at silver, silver, no current divergence, got a flag here, hasn't actually broken up here on the silver index chart, but it has broken up slightly on this, although not by an awful lot. I'm leaning towards higher here. I'd like to see it pick up the pace a bit. Obviously, we had the little double bottom at the bottom, and that's made target comfortably. But I'm still leaning towards seeing more upside. On palladium, we made the double bottom target, and we're getting up to the bigger resistance, which is up in the 1055 area. See a sustained break up over that, and we can get considerably higher and maybe start thinking about 1150 and 200 again. On platinum, not a lot to say on platinum, really. We've got a possible IHS forming here, which is the best pattern I've got here. That could, on a breakup, sustained breakup, take us back up into a retest this high at 1073. I'm keeping an open mind on it. All right, on copper, no current divergence. This looks like a bullish consolidation to me. And I think that's probably because it is a bullish consolidation. We've seen a double bottom break up here. We will see how that goes. Looking at the chart here, you can see the double bottom. That's got a target up in the 4.6 to 4.65 area. This is the little head and shoulders I was looking at, which has just failed. I'm thinking the overall lean is higher, and I think this failure of this head and shoulders after it broke down is a good indicator that it's going to go higher. GDX, nice move up. I've got the next big resistance up in the 38.72 area, not reached yet. And here, that is a double bottom setup on GDX, but we don't have a similar setup on GDXJ. Nonetheless, the next big level is at 49.75. In terms of the hourly charts, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed on GDX, which hasn't failed yet, but might well. And we've got something similar on GDXJ. Wouldn't surprise me to see both of those fail. All right, let's have a look at ZB. Okay, ZB. Seen a rally here. I've been saying that. I mean, a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, Trump's taking power, and therefore interest rates are going to fall." Actually, all I'm saying here is a technical rally, an oversold rally, and I think this is going to resume the downtrend soon. And looking at this is a pretty nice, mostly formed head and shoulders. I think it might be heading down very soon. We will see. Looking at the well, I'll come to the TNX chart in a minute. Let's have a look at US dollar. US dollar, we've got another head and shoulders here, not quite as nice, but decent. And that's broken down with a target in the 105.1 area. I think that's got a shot. Break and convert the monthly pivot, which is breaking but not yet converted at 107.24, and I think that's got a decent shot. I would say on the hourly chart we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. On DX, DX, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and the RSI 5 sell signal is made target. You can see the little head and shoulders, which is broken down. It wouldn't surprise me if we see another rally here, which takes us up into the 108.5 area. Then that could be an alternate head and shoulders here with this as the right shoulder rather than this. Actually, that could be a better pattern. I wouldn't be that surprised to see that. On the USD chart, weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, hasn't made target yet, but obviously we've broken the pattern and we are at potential resistance here. I'm going to do a post about this next week, definitely, and it's just been a bit busy lately, but I'm going to do a post about this next week, talking about the move up from the lows. And I was talking when we broke up over this area here about this is the obvious trendline target, and we hit it. And I'm liking the downside. But there is a possibility we'll break up and do the full retest of 114.75. And if you have a look at the much bigger picture chart, then you can see that if we go and retest 114.75, that would give us topping pattern a potential level top. I think this is going to go down fairly heavily soon, but it might need to go to 114.75, so be wary about that. All right, looking at your USD. We've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed, and that hasn't made target either. I'm keeping an open mind on this, but I'll do the hourly charts after this. And GBP, what I would say is your USD has broken over the downtrend. GBP USD has broken over the downtrend. USD JPY hasn't quite broken the uptrend, but it's thinking about it. On USD CAD, this has broken the uptrend. Australian dollar. That should be Australian dollar. Hang on, why isn't that? Hang on, bear with me a second. Right, Australian dollar. We've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed, RSI 5 buy signals made target, but obviously this has broken the downtrend too. We've seen this long move down, which matches the long move up on the dollar, and at the very least, this is having a serious pause for reflection. It could be ending, or we could do another leg down on these and up on the dollar to do that full retest of 114.75. Okay, I'm actually just going to come back quickly to the charts here, and we'll just have a quick look at the currencies on the hourlies, because there's some interesting things there. Here, we've got a pretty decent looking inverted head and shoulders, which is broken up on the USD. That's got a target in about the 107.4 area, and well, we'll see whether it gets there. But if DX continues going down, that's where I'll be looking for. We do have a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing, or at least we would have. Yeah, that made the possible near miss target. Okay, we do have a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. Okay, on GBP USD, what have we got? We've got another decent looking inverted head and shoulders, and that's broken up with a target in about the 1.2665 area. Again, this could well make target. No current negative divergence. USD JPY is trying to break down for a double top here, but we haven't seen a lot of cooperation. We had a double bottom here, try to break up and fell back into the lows. We will see. But basically, if the dollar goes up, this will have a tendency to go up. And if the dollar goes down, this will have a tendency to go down. So we will see which way the dollar jumps. On USD CAD, nice looking double top. We've already had one breakdown and fell, but we've now got another one. That hasn't broken down yet, but if it does, that may well make the target, which would take us down slightly below the annual pivot area into about the 140 area. Looking at Australian dollar, we've got a nice looking double bottom, which is breaking up. And looking at NZ, decent looking double bottom, which is breaking up. We are seeing a lot of reversal patterns here, so we shall see. All right, let's have a look at TNX. Okay, let's have a look at TNX on the hourly chart. Now, we've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed now, and we have been seeing some consolidation while that's been making target, and it hasn't made the target yet. So it could be that we're going to see some more upside here and some downside on the dollar, and then on ZB, and then we will resume the uptrend. Bigger picture though, this is a flag, it's broken up, and it's got a target at 49.97. There is a slight chance that we could be forming a larger bull flag, maybe come down to about the 34 area and then do the retest of the high, but I think it's more likely that we're actually going to go and do it directly. That I would expect to be sooner rather than later. So I think after this rally on ZB, we're probably going to head up to this target here, and we're going to head down to the 104 to 106 area. Also, as I was mentioning last year, I think this year, particularly when it comes to ambitious spending plans and tax cuts and so on, I think there could be some serious trouble in the bond market. I think think they're really good. I think interest rates, I think when we get back to a retest of basically 50 on TNX here, I think we'll be in an inflection point, and it's very possible we're going to break up from it. I'll be writing more about that, and I'm aiming to get a post out not long after the USD one on the unupdated one on bonds. So we shall see, because if we reach that 50, this could be a double top. But I'm very doubtful about this breaking down and going all the way back to about the 22 area. I'm not sure we're going to see those again for quite a while. We will see. But I think if the bond market doesn't like spending plans, and it doesn't like basically the idea that the US debt is going to just continue going up until someone gets really alarmed about the possibility about the money not being paid back, because there does come a stage, however strong an economy you are, that actually the weight of just paying the interest becomes a huge burden, and it's already getting very stiff now. We will see. But the thing is, when you owe really large amounts of money, you tend to find that the interest rates rise to reflect the additional risk of lending to you. We may see that happen. So that's one thing I'll be watching for next year. All right, let's have a look at KC. KC had a nice looking flag here. It broke up, and we have retested the high. This is a potential little top, and I've got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. There's a little double top here, but there's also a much larger potential double top here. We will see. The little double top, I think, it's got a good chance of playing out. I'm more doubtful about the big one. Looking at sugar, we're actually finally seeing a rally. We had the daily buy signals fixed, but we've now got new daily buy signals fixed, so great. So we could actually see a significant low here. We were also in a significant lower support area. On CC, messy triangle here, but I think really this is a bullish consolidation, and we should now see a retest of this high here in the 12,950 area. Looking at CT. CT, we got a nice looking double bottom, which has been showing absolutely no enthusiasm about breaking up. I would love to see more work to the upside. Obviously, we'll have to find some buyers if that's actually going to happen. On wheat, we broke up from this little double bottom, and it made target finally. This is a big resistance level here. We could pull back and form a right shoulder, and I would just note we may already be doing that, because if you draw a slightly down sloping neckline across here, then actually we could be doing that already. The ideal right shoulder low would be, well, not far below where we are right now. So we could be forming that inverted head and shoulders. We could see a power up from here. On corn, well, it doesn't look like much on here, but actually on the daily chart, we had a possible bear flag and forming, and we blew up through it. I'm much more optimistic about this actually breaking to the upside. And watching carefully on soy, we've got a nice looking little double top here, which could play out. But again, at the levels we're looking at here, this might just be a bullish consolidation before it goes higher. All right, we'll come to the daily charts in a minute. Let's just do lumber. Wait a second. Yeah, let's just do lumber. Lumber, I've got no real idea what's happening here. We have come back in and retested this low. This definitely isn't the second low of double bottom. It couldn't possibly be. Because this is far too close to the prior high. So not sure what's happening here, but we are bumping along. Established support. We'll see if it holds. We do have a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing, and it wouldn't surprise me to see it turn back up here. And we've got a nice looking little double bottom here, break up over 576, and this would have a target at about the 586 or 7 area. All right, let's have a look at live cattle. We've got nice move up here. I've got a possible trend line here, which is nice. I'm not taking that seriously, but I am wondering if it might fail here. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. That never reached the possible near-miss target and hasn't failed yet either, so it's kind of in limbo. Live cattle, as we're seeing a rally from here, I really wouldn't be surprised to see a retest of this low, though, but I'm keeping an open mind, no current signals. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts too. On KC, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and I am wondering about this possible larger double top, but I would like to see more evidence. Particularly, I'd quite like to see a daily RSI 5 sell signal brewing, so I'd like to see a retracement here, a retest, and if we're going to see a fail, a hard fail then. On sugar, RSI 14 buy signal fixed, RSI 5 buy signal has reached possible near miss target. Nice bullish setup. We've got a the falling wedge has broken up. I'm thinking this might have legs, and so we will see. But certainly it's nice to see signs of life. But I have been noting we're in a big support area and we're coming back up from a big support area. I'm liking it. Okay, likely heading back up into a retest this high here at 12,931. On wheat, RSI 14 buy signal fixed. Hasn't made target yet. We've broken up from what might be a multi-layered double bottom setup, really, or mixture of double bottoms and IHSs. We could be forming an IHS right shoulder now. Equally, we could come up a bit higher and form another one here. Bigger picture, this could all be a huge double bottom. So there is potentially a lot of upside on wheat to come, which could take us back up into the retest of these highs here in the 77260 area. On corn, it did look for quite a while as though we might be forming a bear flag. Now, actually, the reason I've drawn these arrows in is because we did actually form a bear flag. It's just broken the other way. And it never went back and got back below the trend line, or at least not significantly. I am wondering whether we might make it to basically the failed flag target, which would be up here in about the 517 area. So I've marked that in, and we'll see. On soy, a very, very weak RSI 5 sell signal is fixed. Got a possible double top here. I'm not taking it particularly seriously. I am watching. I'm thinking we might see some retracement, and then we'll get a bigger test when we get up into about the 1100 area. There's a larger potential inverted head and shoulder neckline, or it is a possible asymmetric double bottom. Looking at cotton. Apologies. On cotton, we've got a weak RSI 5 buy signal fixed. I'd love to see some bullish action here. So far, we're just trickling along under the middle band, and there's been nothing really of interest to see. What I would love to see, if we are going to see something bullish, is a break over the declining resistance trend line, which I've got in about the 68.8 area. So that's where we are. I'm hoping to have a couple of big picture posts out next week, or at least one out next week and one the week after. They will be on the dollar and on bonds, which I think are going to be two of the most interesting things to be watching this year. We'll see how that goes, and I'll catch you guys again on Wednesday. Cheers.